Hey, welcome back. Guess who's back?
Guess who's back?
What's up?
What's up? I mean, this is definitely a long time coming. I know we've been off. We've been on a hiatus for probably like the last
Let me see. It was June. Maybe May was it? Was it May?
May, June. Nah, it
That's
be
6 months.
really.
Has it been 6 months? Let's see. Hold on. I need to get to the comments to see who's chiming in.
Well, I don't know. I think it's been about. I guess maybe since June. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So since about June, so probably about 6 months or so.
So hey, listen, we've been gone. We've been gone so long. It's gonna be a time for everybody to get back in tune. The fact, like, oh, they back. Oh, okay, I didn't know they came back. So I know we put one. We did have a flyer out there on social media to let you guys know that we're coming back. So hey, but we in it for the long haul.
We in this.
And so hey, we welcome back. Welcome back to Fruit Bearing Conversations.
Thank you, Mama. She said, "Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in with us yet once again."
Yeah, appreciate that, Juana. Appreciate you with that. Welcome back. More welcome. So anyway, without further delay, you say what?
Said it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, so that's why I say it'll be a minute so we get everybody back in tune with what we're doing. So, but as you get your alerts, like I say, don't hesitate to share this with somebody else, and thank you for joining.
Thanks for joining. Yeah, make sure that you guys are sharing. As they're just having the message roll across the screen. Thank you for joining us and share this live now. Right. I am really I was trying to get to I did click on the comments. I was trying to see who we had with us. I'm gonna shout out people. I already shouted out my mom. I can't see, I guess, because I want to know who's joining from YouTube, who's joining from Facebook, where you guys are joining from.
Oh, I guess you can't really see that on your end, but I see it on my end.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah. Well, it's fine. We'll fix that. So, but no, it's been a long time coming. We've been gone for a while. We are so excited to be back yet again. Just to kind of share where we've been, what we've been up to, what we're doing, where we going, what we got coming up next, and all that good stuff. So this is an exciting time for us, definitely. So want to make sure. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, sorry if you see me kind of fidgeting over here because I was looking to make sure everything was connected. Because like I said, it's been a while since we've been on. So
yeah.
But I do see that we're live on Facebook and that we're live on YouTube. So people are starting to chime in. But like I say, let's keep rolling.
Cool beans.
So give us the update. So we want to update you guys on where we were or where we've been and why we didn't come back when we say was coming back. Because it's I mean, to be honest with you, me personally, it's almost something that we needed to do, but we didn't know we needed to do it.
Yeah.
Like it's like we needed a break in some sort of way to kind of regroup, refresh. I always talk about like the comparison of like, when you have your iPhone, for those who have an iPhone, or any phone that you have, and if you kill so it's almost like you have so many things operating in the background that it slows down the processor.
That's good.
So it's so many things operating in the background, so it slows down the processor. So it's like we had to kill all the apps that's operating in the background just so we can and then refresh the page, so we can kind of get a restart, and so we can kind of start with a more vigor and more clear about what the direction and path that you should be walking on.
Absolutely. And the path that we are, traveling down. And sometimes, we get excited and jump ahead and start putting a lot, adding a lot of things on our plates, and so it's like, okay, wait a minute, hold up, slow it down.
Yeah, because, and the thing is, I got another comparison. I got another comparison real quick, right? Because right now we're in the middle of the midterms, right? As far as politics is concerned and voting. And Stacey Abrams says it like this. She says how, you know, like Georgia was big on being, it's cool to be first, but sometimes you need to take some caution when moving forward. And because even with being first, you could still have some setbacks.
Absolutely.
Or you can still have some complications.
Absolutely.
You know, it's another thing that was said in a debate that she said is that, like, even though the things that you do, it's like you can move forward, but sometimes you need to you can trust the process, but you need to verify it. You need to verify that's exactly what, you know, the direction you should be going in. Not just like, oh, I trust, but it's like, okay, but trust but verify.
That's right. I like that. And even Derek, even with you talking about that, jumping on too, because like I know that we real big on like the presidential, you know, elections and things like that. And so we come out in big numbers with those numbers. But I guess, you know, even after those, then the next 2 years, we should be coming back and going to vote for like the election that's going on right now, right? And it was something because I sent you a DM earlier about, it was a guy like rapping about like back, you know, in high school, learned about the legislative and all those, you know, the different branches, the House of Representatives and all those type of things. And then we get older and we forget, because I sure forgot. Okay. And so, but he broke it down so well. But one thing that I will admonish you, anybody that's on here, anyone that's listening, like myself, for instance, I know that Trey and I, we're not really big into politics and things like that. And so, but we want to make sure that we are getting out and we're voting, and want to make sure that we're voting for the right people, right? And so we did some research last night. We got Derek involved because he's the politic man, and and so, you know, but we reached out, you know, we got him involved, and he helped us to identify, like, how do you determine who to vote for? And, you know, you look up different people, you look up their names, and just, you know, instead of just marking stuff, you know. And so that's something that I would definitely say, you know, do if you have a sample ballot. You can definitely go on and you can look up the names of the people that are running, what they stand for. We even learned about all the amendments last night, you know, all the amendments that's on the ballot and what they mean. And, you know, why will we say yes to this? Why will we say no to this? So it's important to know, you know, when we filling out those ballots of what we're doing, even if you're not into that, still it's your job to make sure that we learn about what it is and get out there and vote.
Yeah, I think, you know, we get to a point in society that we feel like and don't get me wrong, I think I'll be honest with you, from our culture, you know, sometimes we can get into a habit of believing that our voice is not being heard, or our vote won't count. But that's the trick of the enemy anyway, because that's what they want you to think, that your voice won't count. You know, like we had some things take place here in Georgia where you'll have like one party saying that, oh, well, we've done things to enhance voter registration, when in reality you didn't. Anytime you take away something that was convenient for another to get to that point, that doesn't mean that you're helping me. That's more, you're hindering me more than anything.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that was being misunderstood. And because of that, all I can tell you is this, is that it's not about voting for your party, it's about voting for the issues that matter to you. So the problem that we see right now in this country is that we got a lot of people that want to vote. Oh, it's my party. I mean, you got somebody who about to vote for, like, and I'm just talking about here in Georgia, and I'm not going to call names, but when I say this, you know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, you're going to vote for somebody who has a record and history of violence. You have a record history of basically just violence in general. Why would I vote for somebody that has a history of that? Mm-hmm. But because they belong to a certain party, I'm gonna negate all of the history. I'm gonna negate the education and the things that qualify you, and just go ahead and vote for you because it benefits my party. That's selfish in its own way, and it doesn't help you in the long run. So that's why I say, you know, we got to get out of that. And that's the thing that's frustrating to me. I don't care about party. I care about, hey, vote for a person that makes sense to you. Yeah. Not because it's going to help you leverage up on another end. Find another fight, get it that way, but don't do it with the person that's unqualified.
There you go.
I rest my mic on that. So,
and there you have it, guys. I told you
just piggyback what you said about that, like now, like a lot of people saying like our vote don't count. We even had a conversation with our son about that. Like he's just kind of saying that, you know, like thinking that our vote don't count, but that's just like back when just using an example, back when Obama was in office, like, and somebody talked about it before, like they had the odds already counted that, you know, that wasn't gonna happen, and they wasn't anticipating on a lot of minorities coming out to vote. But a lot of minorities came out and vote, and it changed the polls. So that's where we have to, when you think your vote don't count, it does count because the numbers count. So sometimes they count us out even before we get started, because they take on the same mindset that some of us take on, that thinking that it's not gonna count. So
right,
we gotta fight for what's been given to us.
And okay, so I'm gonna stay on this because we're here right now, and I'm speaking on this because again, Georgia's in a fight big time, right? And the issue is this: is that if you guys know the history of Georgia, I know you don't really know because you guys are Missouri, but in Georgia, it's a red state. It's been known as a red state for a long time. Since the beginning of the time, it's been a red state. Was it 2 years ago? The state was turned blue, all because people got out and they really voted. Kind of like what you said, Trey. They counted us out, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, let's go ahead and change these voter laws because, you know, so basically, I mean, they literally changed voter laws to where they wouldn't give don't give no water to anybody in line. We're gonna reduce some of the locations, the voter locations. You know what I'm saying? You purging people from the records because they ain't voted in 10 years. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
You gotta realize that people at one point in time, they probably stopped voting because they felt like their vote didn't count. But when they start realizing and really seeing what was going on and how people have been manipulating the system, it's like, oh no, we need to get out here. So hopefully, like I say, I'm just saying, I hope that everyone goes out, let your voice be heard. At the end of the day, it's kind of like all you can do is what you're supposed to do. It's kind of like that thing when they say, I ain't giving the money to church because that's what the preacher did. He gonna take the money. Don't let that be your excuse. It's like, no, just do what you're supposed to do, and everything else will take care of itself. So
So go vote. Hey, Minister Hayes, how are you? Hello, Gail Smart. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are so happy to have you guys. Thanks, Mama, for tagging and bringing people on with us. This is not a vote.
It's not that party. It's not a conversation we're having, but we really were just sharing our thoughts with everybody, letting you know, just hey, that everybody go do their part. You know, I feel like fruit bearing conversations is just about that. It's about bearing good fruit.
That's right.
And we always want to do things to positively impact our community, our base of people, our platform. So that's where we are on it. Yeah. So we just thought we'd talk about that.
That's right. So we have Hirsch Dirk Sherman came on the line. He said representation matter. Representation matter. We have no one running who represents our interests. Sometimes a no vote is a vote.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So that's what it is. All right. So
but no, Hirsch, that's a very good point. I was talking to one of my friends and we was talking about how, like, like if when we talk about response, and we said that when somebody doesn't respond, that means they're responding.
Yeah.
No response is a response. Just like no vote is to not vote is pretty much saying something, but it's not counting anything. So you need to. So when you don't vote, you're jeopardizing the whole system in general. So, like I say, I just look at it like this. We look at the civil rights movement. There's a lot of things and a lot of people who have sacrificed their lives to give us the right to vote. And for us not to do it, it's pretty much like a slap in the face for real.
Yeah. So, and really all you can do is just like we said, it's just you gotta pick the worst of the two enemies. Is how I look at it, because you're not like, that's what's wrong too. A lot of times we don't have people, our faces in politics in abundance. So that's why it's hard for us to even get out and vote and determine stuff, because like we trying to vote for somebody and we don't really even know what they stand for. So the only way that you're gonna know what they stand for, you gotta look up the candidates like we was talking about earlier, and you just gotta pick the right one. The best.
Well, the best who you think.
Based on your information, based on the information that's been provided to you. And but also too, going back to the thing what Hirsch said about representation, you know, like I say, the moment that we have representation, that should be the moment that you really get out and support that individual. If that person represents you in a way that you see fit, you know what I'm saying? So, but when you don't do that, you cannot complain why we don't have what we have. Is what I'm saying. Don't complain. If you didn't go to the voter poll, don't complain. And I know we really harping on this, but I guess at the end of the day, it right now the country is it's in flux for real. I mean, because there's just so much going on, and I mean, and we know this since January 6th, what took place, you know, on the Capitol. You know, you got people who deny that was even an insurrection. So let that sink in.
That's and welcome to America.
So I'm just saying. All right. So on to other news. On to other news, guys. Go vote. On to other news. So we want to update you on what's been going on with us. We want to let you know about like what we're going to be doing soon. I would say, but if you don't know, you know, we still, if you know, just for those who are maybe chiming in first time, or let me just remind you.
Oh yeah, let's introduce ourselves.
Wait, hold on. So I'm at this point now. So
okay.
If you don't know, we are the filmmakers behind these 3 films that you're seeing right now: The Wake Up Call, A New Husband for Christmas, and The Gift of Grace. They are all available on Amazon, Tubi, Google, Roku, pretty much where most streaming platforms are available. So if you don't know about these films, please, you know, go out, check them out, share them with somebody else, because, you know, we are here for a purpose, right?
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. That is correct.
Yes. So yes, that's cool. Thanks for bringing those 3 films up. So again, I am Kyria Williams, and I am the writer and producer of those 3 films that you just saw come across the screen. And this is.
I am Trey Williams. I make everything happen behind the scenes.
And you are?
And I am Derek Mullen. I am the director and producer of all those films that we just, you know, put up on the screen for you guys. So we appreciate you guys joining in with us. But that's why, again, that's one of the reasons why we got back to doing Fruit Bearing Conversations. We missed you guys. We actually missed being on. So that's really the bulk of it right now. So we wanted to get back out and get in front of you guys to keep you guys abreast of what's going on. We had a lot of changes, and I'll be honest with you, it was. So let me say it like this, and I'll jump into it like this, Kyrie. You correct me if I'm wrong, but if I say it, I'm already there. So, but today we really want to talk about, you know, the comeback from a setback. The comeback from a setback.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, we went into hiatus at the time because we were on the precipice of producing our 4th film, called The Company You Keep. Yay! Casting has been done, locations has been found, and, you know, money has been allocated, you know, to get certain things going. But in the midst of doing all that, we had to take a break. We had a lot of stuff that we had to reset and calibrate. What I said earlier, we had a lot of things operating in the background, but it was slowing down the process.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So again, we had to kill some apps. We had to kill those apps operating in the background.
Yeah.
And kind of reset and refresh. But it was good because it gave us an opportunity to really kind of work on reevaluate. We did some things really came down to even like our promoting for our, you know, I mean, and at the same time, we had just switched over from what, you know, with you guys, when we were telling you guys, we just switched over from being individual operating companies, you know, that working in association with one another to becoming one brand, you know, called Fruit Bearing Studios, you know, like the shirt right here, like that. So, so now, but see, so what I'm saying, so we did all that and we still had to get some things in order, you know, from an operating standpoint. And I would say that we're pretty much there, and we'll always be forever evolving and growing. But we definitely have a better foundation for the things that we're doing as Fruit Bearing Studios. So with that being said, we have already so we rescheduled our filming. So it was supposed to take place in August, but we rescheduled
July
it
and
now.
August.
It's going to take place now in March, starting the late side of March.
Yes, absolutely. So nope, it was definitely starting. We were supposed to be filming in July and August, and that's why, you know, when we took our hiatus, we said, you know, well, we're about to start filming, and so you know, once we come back with you guys, we'll be done. And, you know, so now we, you know, this time we're supposed to be, you know, coming on here saying, hey, we're done, and yay, you know, and it's still a yay, you know, because we're still moving on, as you know, as Derek mentioned, come back from a setback, right? And sometimes setbacks are good, you know, sometimes setbacks are good, even though in the moment they may hurt. You may feel as if you're being stopped, or you want things to happen in the timing that you put forth, you know. And so, and it really do, you know, sometimes when you experience, you're in those moments and you feeling like, you know, you're not really seeing God moving, you're not really seeing his hand, and you wonder why it is a setback, and, you know, things like that. And so, but the great thing about it is, you know, when you have a team of people and you all supposed to encourage each other, right? And so with me, I didn't want to do the setback, right? I literally was ready. I didn't want to stop. I wanted to go for it. But you have to have wisdom, right? You got to listen to wisdom. You have
can
to
trust, but you got to verify. That's gonna be the operative sentence today. Trust, but verify.
Yes, I'm seeing more people join us too. Hey, Nikki, how are you? My auntie. I see her. I saw somebody else. I saw Minister Hayes comment too. You have a great evening. I can't remember who else I saw because I can't keep, you know, scrolling up. But hello to everyone that is joining us. And so again, you are joining Fruit Bearing Conversations with myself, Kyria Williams, my husband Trey Williams, and Derek Mullen, the founders of Fruit Bearing Studios. And we're just talking about the comeback from the setback, right? And so, hey, Auntie, I see you too, Keita. Auntie Marie Keita. And so, no, what I was saying, honestly, and I know, Gail, I saw your comment saying so true, because it is true. It's like when you're in the moment, you're excited, you've put forth all this work, you've put in the effort that it takes, you know, and you at the go point, you know, you're at the light is, you're looking at it as the light is green. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to push, you know, and move forward. But if it's not the appropriate time, or it's not the right timing, then you definitely want to put a halt to it, no matter how you feel about it, right? And so I was mad. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I was mad. I was upset. I felt like my team was like, I felt like we were, you know what I'm saying, we were pulling back. I just felt like this is not okay. You know, we're going into our fourth movie. Why all of a sudden now we have a setback? Why do we have to stop now? You know, and so that's important. And so, and also another thing that, and I'm gonna just be very transparent, another thing that we do when we have to consider those things is we think about what the people will say, right? What will the people say, and how would they view it? Like it's kind of looked at as if, you know, we were doing something that we had no business doing. You know, all these thoughts start coming into your head, and so it's so important to make sure that we are just really, really in tune and go with God no matter what. We go with God even when we don't agree with what God is doing, right? So we still got to go with him. And I will honestly say, I sit here today knowing that setback was a setup. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, it was a setup, because even if you think about it, who would have ever known that St. Louis would experience a flood?
Oh, yeah.
The flood that it experienced. And had we been filming, delayed but not denied. That's right. Now let's get to it. Yeah. So had we been filming in the midst of that, we would have been completely stopped and really thrown off, because again, we are an independent film company. So we don't have these large budgets to, if something happened, then now, okay, well, we just pay for it again later. No, we're independent company. We fund our films. And so I'm glad that we did take that halt, because like I said, that setback was definitely a setup. And I thank God for the setback. I do.
Yeah, but even with, like, I know sometimes, like, a lot of times we get caught up with what people think. Yeah. But in business, you have to really consider the whole picture. Like, sometimes you have to remove yourself out of the situation and look at it like, what's going to be best for the people at whole that's involved.
That's right.
And sometimes you have to pump your brakes and you have to, you have to reevaluate things and just look at it for what it is. It's like, even though we may have put stuff out saying that we was going to start at this particular time, but we really had to ask ourselves, was it beneficial for the team and was it beneficial for the crew that we're working with? It's like, we want to put our cast and our crew in the best position possible. So it was just a time where we just felt like we just had to reevaluate what we was doing and just, start over. So
and
Michelle, it is what it is.
We got, you see Michelle, I heard Michelle was right in the trenches with us. Yep. She know everything, but no, honestly.
And not even saying it's a bad thing. It's just it is what it is. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, the biggest thing though, even with doing this, it is. I mean, you really do want to. I mean, I'll take it back from when we first started this. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When we first, I'm gonna be like Kyria. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all today. But no, seriously, but I like this because I feel like this is going to encourage somebody, right?
Yeah.
Because when we first started, and I'm gonna start with the wake up call. When we first started, we didn't have a plan. I mean, I'll be honest with you, we did not have a plan. We just knew the biggest thing when it came down to that, we literally just saying like, we've been successful with doing like the stage plays. Trey and Kyria have been like, that's how they, I say them because they started off really doing the stage plays. And, when I came along, it's more or less, hey, let me help. And I'm, getting involved. And of course, the whole story behind that. But then everybody everybody, we'll come back to it because I don't want to take too long. But the thing is that like, hey, let's see what we can do, right? I mean, we make the film, we do premieres, and so in hindsight, a lot of stuff was birthed out of that those missteps. Let's say it like that. So a lot of things were birthed out of those missteps. So it doesn't mean that it has to be. So we talk about setbacks. It doesn't mean that that you have to stay there. Like, so when you have a setback, it doesn't mean you have to stay there. You can reevaluate and get credit and get ready for your comeback. Because the comeback right now, I'm telling you, it gave us this setback or to this time off really gave us time to really evaluate and put other things in place. So when we go to make this next film, like we're gonna be doing some things that we didn't do the first time or the second time and the third time. It's like now we got because of that experience, we got another way to look at and how to put this thing together. And I'm telling y'all, like the company you keep, I'm really excited about this film. I'm gonna say this: if you are not subscribing to our email address, you need to get on our email because I'm gonna be honest with you. We've gotten to a point where we want the exclusivity of what we're doing for those who are truly following us. So like if you're following us and you subscribe to the email list, you're going to see like the most recent poster that was released for the company you keep. That has not been issued anywhere else just yet. So if you're on the email list, you're going to see it.
You're exclusive. You are like considered a VIP encourager. You are a VIP encourager, and that's another thing too. Know that that's what we call you guys. All of you are our encouragers. Those that are definitely following us, looking at the film, sharing our projects, sharing what we do, sharing these lives, all
writing
of
that.
Writing reviews, all of that. Or you're not our fans, you guys are our encouragers, and that's what we call you guys. So if you are subscribed to the email list, we made a little mistake this time, sending it out this time.
Oh, okay, yeah. But hey, it happens, but that don't mean that you got to erase everything because something went out by accident. Hey, it went out by accident. We lost, but here's the thing. But here's the thing with that though, too, Kyria. And the thing is that when you on the other side, because it, a lot of people don't see that. For them, it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, but nobody tripping on that mistake. Matter of fact, some people may not even seen it. Be like, oh, I ain't say it till you pointed it out.
So, and that's Derek saying that to me because he know that I go crazy and I panic with mistakes.
That was funny though.
So I literally panic, when things like that. But hey, it is what it is. But no, as I was saying, honestly, we're gonna drop the link that you can go on. Click this link if you are not subscribed to our email list. Why? That's a question. Why? Why aren't you? Second, like you're the okay. So when we did there you go, guys. There is the link right there. So if you click on that link, it will take you directly to the screen. All you have to do is enter your email address, and you'll be the first to know everything. So let me explain to you guys what happened for the Gift of Grace premiere. And so the Gift of Grace premiere, I believe, sold out in 24 hours. It literally sold out in 24 hours. And people were like inboxing us and sending messages and like, how, like what? And that's what I'm saying, like on the email list. So we are now intentional to make sure that if you subscribe to our list, that you will be the first to know everything. We didn't know that those tickets were going to go that fast when we did that. Yeah. I mean, they literally flew out of here so fast, and I'm like, whoa, you know. So now we're going to be very, very intentional when we do things, when we're putting things out. Our email subscribers will be the first to be aware of everything that we have going on. So if you want to be aware of auditions, you want to know when we're going to be doing our premieres and tickets go on sale, and we're releasing new movie posters and all those type of things, you definitely want to subscribe to our email list. So make sure that you do that, okay? Another thing, while we're even talking about it, Derek, you want to go ahead and switch over to. This will be our last time on Facebook Live. So we're going to be transitioning over to YouTube directly. So you definitely want to make sure that you're subscribed to YouTube. Yeah. Thank you, Arletta. Thank you, cousin. And so you want to make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And the reason I say that, guys, too, is because that's exclusive content over there. What we're doing right now here, it's all going to be YouTube. So we're going to be driving traffic to our YouTube channel. You guys on here, I know Arletta, I know she just went and subscribed to the email list. You want to make sure that you're subscribing to our YouTube channel as well. Again, guys, we're getting ready to change into some things. We're reevaluating, and this setback caused us to be able to reevaluate what we need.
There you go, right there. Because, like, hey, going back to the YouTube situation, because if you don't know already, so you know we have the movie out, The Gift of Grace, and we just recently been, if you've been following us on Instagram, we just recently been behind the scenes. 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago we shot it. A week
2 weeks ago, yeah, 2 weeks ago we shot it here in Atlanta.
We went down to ATL.
Yeah, so we had Kyria Evans. We had Shalise Johnson. Yeah. We had a couple of people from her, another person from her team that came down with her. But yeah, we behind the scenes. We shooting the film. Started shooting the video, the music video, bigger than this.
Yeah,
that is currently available. So again, this now in any other time we would have shown that here.
Yep.
But we start realizing that, hey, our email list, our email list subscribers want to know, hey, what makes us special, right? So what makes you special? Because you guys be the first to get this information, and also too on this, it's on YouTube. So it's right now it's available on YouTube for you guys to go and see it. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. It was a fun time. This was our second music video that we did for one of our films.
Yes.
I'm big on that because I just believe back in the day, you guys know back in the day when you went to the movies and they had a video that was made or a soundtrack that went to that movie, and it made you want to go see the movie if you haven't seen it, or you just wanted that reminiscent of the film itself. And that's what I liked about seeing music videos. You don't really see those anymore.
Yeah, so I'm excited. That was fun. That was really fun. Definitely go check that out. If you have not seen the video bigger than this, go on our YouTube channel and check it out, guys. For it's on there. We're not sharing it here, not yet.
And if you want to purchase it, and if you want to purchase that, that song, then definitely go to iTunes, Spotify, where music or Google Play, where music is streaming, where music is available. Definitely go and purchase it. Support St. Louis Zone. And really support those that we putting out there. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that what we like to do is highlight independent artists, because you know why? Because we're independent filmmakers. So I feel like, hey, we're gonna support our party. No.
That's right. So definitely it was a commercial break. So that was definitely a commercial break. Yeah. Go subscribe to our email list. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will get exclusive content.
All right. So that was our commercial break. So again, welcome back. If you're tuning in, you are tuned in to Fruit Bearing Conversations with myself, Derek Mullen, and Trey and Kyria Williams, my co-hosts. Yeah. So our subject today was talking about
come back
from a setback.
Come back from a setback. Arletta is asking if we can drop the YouTube link to the video in the chat. So we will definitely do that as well. We'll drop the YouTube link to the video in the chats. We'll get that together and drop it in there, definitely. Please put the name of the music video. Oh, the name of the music video. So Bigger Than This. You can see it on our YouTube channel as well. It's
called Bigger Than This. Matter of fact, let me but I'm gonna drop that link in there just so you have it. Mm-hmm. So you can go straight to it if you don't want to look it up.
Right. So as he is doing that, while he's doing that, but as what he said, our topic tonight, we were talking about come back from the setback, right? And Derek had left off with saying something very encouraging, which was in the setback, you don't have to stay there, right? So I believe that a lot of us, we don't really get to experience the fullness of God. We don't get to experience his goodness. We don't get to experience the other side because we lay down in the setback, right? We feel like, well, we tried and it didn't work. And do y'all know how many obstacles that has been in our way? Do y'all know how many hurdles we've had to get over in order to do what we're doing? Like we literally could have quit so many times. We could have quit. We could have laid down. We could have given up and just said, you know what? Forget it. We did one. We tried it. That's it. But when God is giving you a vision and he's put something in you so great, that's bigger than you, then who are we to lay down when the obstacles come? And who are we to just tell God, well, you know what? I gave it a shot and it didn't work. That's not okay. It's like a slapping him in his face. Like, no, I gave you this. This is your gift. And so the gift that God has given us, then it is our job to gift it back to him, right? So when we know and we learn what that gift is that he's placed on the inside of us, you think the devil just gonna lay down and let it just flow, and just let us just literally just go, just do what God has called you to do and have a great time doing it? No, he's gonna throw every attack he can, throw every punch he can, and try to knock you down. And guess what? Sometimes you will fall, but like he said, we don't stay there. We don't stay there. We can get back up and we keep going because that's what matters. We got to keep going, guys. And that's why I say you will never experience what it is that God has on the other side because we don't get there because we quit. We quit during the hard times, the trials and tribulations. And so, no, we just got to keep going. We just got to keep going. Come back. How do you come back from a setback?
Well, first of all, let me say this. One of the things that I like to tell people, and it's hard for people to see your vision. Mm-hmm. I mean, be honest with you, it's really not their job to see your vision because God didn't give the vision to them, they gave it to you. Mm-mm. So the biggest thing though, sometimes, what I always like to remind people or even remind, in people that I work with in our business is that everything that's big started small. Everything that's big started small. Ain't nobody get there, with the building already built. You know what I'm saying? Like it's everything that's big started small. So you have to start somewhere. And the biggest thing about it is get started. Just like, when you said, well, how do you come back from a setback? Come back.
Come back. Come back.
Come back.
Come back. That's right. You come back. And but let me say this. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, let me say this too. And I think, because of course, and that is completely right? That everything big starts small, right? And I think what I believe that we're trying to do is, I think that we're trying to get to the big, right? We're trying to get to the big really fast and we're trying to get there. But who's to say that, the gift and what we have is for millions and millions, right? It could be a handful. It could be your gift can be for a handful of people, right? And I believe that we need to understand where we are, where we're going, and understand that even if it's just a handful, that we're still going to give it our all, right? We're still going to give it our all, just like we talked about here. We are going to be consistent with our lives. We don't care if 2 people are on here, right? We don't care if 200. we're going to be consistent, and we're doing this because we know that this is a gift. This is what God has called us to do. We want to be in front of the people. We're making our films. We're going for it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that let's not get so focused on, we want to hurry up and just get to the big. I was listening to something that Donnie McClurkin said, and he said something about how, he's shocked at the industry, the gospel industry, and how we're just literally going towards fame and money, and that's all it's about, and so and we purpose in our hearts as a ministry, as a team. We purpose in our hearts as a team to make sure that that's not what we're about, right? We're not just after that. It says that seek ye first the kingdom, and then these things will be added. And so we make sure in our heart of hearts, as a ministry team, as leaders, that we seek in God before anything. We're seeking him first, and we want to make sure that whatever we do, it glorifies and pleases him. So whatever that is, whether it's big or small, we want to make sure that we seeking him first.
Yeah. I don't know. I was funny. I was going to say something that was it was just right then. Just as I opened my mouth, I think kind of went away. What was I going to say? It'll probably come back to me. Trey, you got anything? I'm sorry. It'll probably come back to me. Sorry.
Nah, I ain't got too much. I'm cool right now. I'm gonna end us off with I'm gonna end the segment off with a story.
Are you about to do it now?
No, I'm gonna wait till.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna end us with a story, guys. But no, I'm definitely just
I remember now. All right, so
that's how we got to do, y'all. We got to do each other like that.
So I was in a I was on Clubhouse, and we were talking about we're talking about filmmakers. There's some different filmmakers that's done the things that they're doing, so on and so forth, and they were talking about some of the things that you could do to make money for your films and yada yada yada. So it's hard for me to adopt to the standard industry requirements, so to speak.
It's hard
what I mean by that is this, and Kyria actually said this a long time ago, is that the formula per se is, hey, the good formula to make your film is definitely find you like a B, C, list, be a C lister. What that means is that somebody in that as a star, but they're just not on the top rack. They may be on the bottom rack, and you can still, it's somebody that they recognize, and you can put them in your film, and that should help your film sell, so on and so forth. So, and that's cool. Yeah. But the thing is with us, to be honest with you, I feel like if it's not God sent, or it's at the end of the day, is that Jesus Christ is the celebrity. Mm-hmm. That's the main celebrity for our films. It's nobody else. I definitely want to make sure that we create an outlet for anybody that works with us, but hopefully at the end of the day that you used your gift for good, because at the end of the day, we're all born with a gift. But see, the truth of the matter is a lot of people use their gifts in the wrong way, and we're feeding the world all this. We can easily go out and go make the drama and sex and drugs and all, that's the formula. Let's be honest, that is the formula. Trust me, we see our numbers, we know what the formula is. Yeah. But that's not what we've been called to do. Mm-hmm. We've been called to be set apart.
That's right.
And the only way you do that is you set apart. You stand out from all of that other mess. And trust me, at the end of the day, God get the glory. Like I say, don't get me wrong. Like, it's great that Kyria is blessed to do what she's doing. It's great that Trey is blessed to do what he does. I'm blessed to do what I do. But at the end of the day, we got to give it back to God. So we give it back to him to let him know that all things, this because of him, we're able to do all things.
Yep.
So through Christ that strengthened us.
That's right. To God be the glory. To God be the glory. Look, I have to explain that to God be the glory, because you hear me say that often. I know a lot of times, I get a lot of comments, and we get comments on our films. We get comments when we're doing things, and just, overwhelming responses at times, and so it's so important to me to always give God the glory, because I literally said this to Trey and Derek. I can see how people can get the big head in these industries. I really can't see how people can get the big head in this industry, because people make you feel like that you are just bigger than life, and they just, they're just rooting and making you feel so good. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, But when it will become wrong is when we start taking the credit for it, right? And so as long as we continue to point people to the reason that we're able to do what we're doing, the reason that the movies are doing what they're doing, the reason that the movies are speaking to you the way that they're speaking to you, long as we don't start taking the credit for that, we all right. And I will tell you, I'm not going to take God's credit. I don't want to. He's looking for individuals that he could literally have a platform to just be celebrated, right? To just be glorified and to just bring him honor. And so when he exposes us to our gifts, because sometimes we just don't know. We are living witnesses sitting right here before you tonight saying we didn't know that these were our gifts. We did not know that God put these things in us to do until we really started seeking and pursuing him, right?
You could,
Once we started pursuing him, I will, then I started realizing that, we do, and the story if you don't know the story, but long story.
I would say you couldn't tell me that we were going to be doing this 10 years ago.
Right. We did not know that this was in us, right? And so what I'm saying is that sometimes when we're exposed to our gifts and stuff like this, like filmmakers, we could really get out here and do some things. You know what I'm saying? We could really be out here producing some stuff. Okay. And I'm a witness. We've had an opportunity recently that we had to turn down because it just wasn't in our arena. It just wasn't in line with what we do. And it was a really big opportunity, and so I just feel like that as long as we continue to stand out, as long as we continue to give God the glory, it is what it is, and that's the reason we do what we do. I didn't just come up one day and say, let's start doing movies, yeah. No, it was something that God placed on the inside of us. That's the only reason we did insurance, to meet each other.
Yeah, I just to be honest with you, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trey. What'd you say?
No, I'm saying that wasn't the only reason.
I think that was the only reason. Well, and then to give me knowledge too about insurance, because I'm very knowledgeable about insurance now.
No, I mean, I was gonna say this too. I'll be honest with you, man. It's funny when you really start taking a stance and setting yourself apart, you're gonna lose friends. You're gonna lose relationships because a lot of people. Because what happens is that because you become set apart. You're so different from the norm that some people get offended because you say, hey, you know what? That's outside the scope of my responsibility to my Savior or what God has called me to do. I'm not the one that's going to do this type of film, or I'm not going to produce the type of music because that's not the scope of what I'm doing. But do you realize I'm giving you a $1 million deal? I realize you give me $1 million deal, and what comes with that is $1 million problems. So what I'm saying is that no, seriously, I really truly mean that. So I apologize. Excuse me.
Get you some water.
If slow and steady is the way, I'm with that. Basically, I say this: whoever said how long success was supposed to take,
and who identifies success?
I'm just saying but I'm saying whatever it is, but whoever said how long it takes to get from this to that.
Social media.
Yeah, so we gotta stop. So what I'm saying, we gotta stop comparing ourselves because everybody didn't start at the same time.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? I mean, there's people who look at. I mean, let's just say with us. There's some people look at us like, well, how y'all? You don't know what we've been through to get to where we are so far. So I'm telling you right now. So again, my race ain't your race.
That's right.
Trust me, you probably didn't have to run as long as I had to. What I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, at the end of the day, none of us started at the same time. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just trust God and what He's called you to do, and let that be that. And I'll be honest with you, the day I stopped chasing money was the day I became free.
Yep. The day I stopped chasing money is the day I became free.
I even just want to piggyback on what you said about like just not like sometimes you don't have to conform to the industry in order to make a good product. We're living witnesses of that. And like a lot of times, like I get, because like I'm into music. So a lot of times I get guys come up and ask me like, do you use like a certain program, this or that? And I'll be like, I tell them no. I'm like, if you good with working with a particular type of program, then stick to what you're good to. Stick to what you're good with. Like you don't have to necessarily do what everybody else is doing. If you're doing something and you're doing it well with what you're working with, stay with it.
That's
And
right.
that's like with all of us. Like my wife, she has a gift in writing. Derek, he has a gift in film. Like I have a gift with like music and certain stuff, sound. Like so, it is what it is. It's like I read books and stuff, but to gain a better understanding of my skill and the things that I have, but I'm not necessarily like it got to be cookie cut one way, because if you look at the industry, nobody does things the same way. Nobody. Even if you're using the same program, nobody's not doing it the same way. So you just have to get out that mindset.
That's right. That's right. And even if we do start at the same time, you know, even if we did all start at the same time, we still can't compare ourselves, you know what I'm saying, to the people that started at the same time that we did. You know what I'm saying? It's literally just you got to live in a no comparison world. And I know Orletta said that it's hard. You know, that's a challenge not to compare to others. And I'm telling you, it is. It really is. If you really want to be truthful, it is definitely a challenge not to compare yourself, because you see all these things. You see, well, dang, I mean, we doing this and we doing that. But I think the longest we don't compare to the point of discouragement. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. I was going to point out something that Hirsch said is that, yeah, I mean, like Samuel Jackson was almost 40, you know, when he got his big break. And same thing, and I can tell you the same thing, like with Ava DuVernay. Ava DuVernay was about in her 30s, her late 30s before she really, you know, became a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. But not only that, it's just that, but the biggest piece that you said in that statement there, Hirsch, is that consistency is the key. And to be honest with you, and trust me, we noticed that. And that's why I say like that. So that I think that's been the biggest thing with us, is that, hey, let's stay consistent in what we're doing. Let's stay consistent in our delivery. Let's stay consistent in our message. You know, just like what we're doing tonight. You know, again, this is why you're seeing us again. Here's the comeback, because we say, hey, let's stay consistent with what we were doing. Again, we're not here for the likes, we're not here for the shares, to be honest with you. It's more or less, hey, at the end of the day, we got a message that we can, because somebody gonna walk away from here and be encouraged. And I say that too because we go back and we look at the comments from the films that we produced, and when we see a comment where an individual say, I gave my life to Christ because of this, or this came at me at the right time in my marriage, I mean, that's powerful. God, I mean, that's one bit, but it wouldn't have happened if we didn't do what we were supposed to do.
For sure.
So at the end of the day, we're put on this earth, and the sad part is that we're in a place that we're chasing money, and we forget, and we're not chasing God, because at the end of the day, somebody has to be set free. We're here for a purpose, and if that purpose is to help somebody else to get free, if by all means, let's do that. But the thing is that we're so consumed with me. That's the world that we're in. Like, it's all about me right now. You get yours how you get yours, but this is how I'm getting mine. But it should be like, no, we can bring everybody up. But see, nobody wants that because they think that's socialism. Yeah. Sorry, getting into politics. Sorry, I'll step back.
Nah, that's good that you even brought that up, because that's like something that I kind of want to end it with. When you said get free, like I was reading a story in the Bible the other day about the story of Legion, and the thing that impressed me was, like, even though I think he had a vision in his head that he wanted to get free. So when he saw Jesus come off the boat, he ran over to Jesus and he screamed to him, like, what have you come? What are you doing here right now? So he wanted to get free, but in order for him to get free, he had to look to something that was beyond him that could get him free. Mm-hmm. And that person that could get him free was Jesus. And I think when Jesus saw that he had a heart and he had a willingness to want to get free from the demons that he was bound with, mm-hmm. I think that's when God showed up, because you have to get to a place where you have to give God access to reign in your life, because he's not going to force himself on you. You have to want to run to get free. And if you don't want to get free, you're going to stay bound. And I think that's like our message. Like, if you even look at our slogan, like Fruit Bearing Studios, like, we're here to bear fruit. We're here to sow a little seed into somebody's life, and hopefully that seed will sprout up into something that will be bigger, even before lifestyle, even when we're gone. Like, we don't know what Fruit Bearing Studios has entailed for the people that's after us, the people that's here right now. We just don't know. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stay with the mission, and we're gonna continue to do what we can with what we have. That's all we can do.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, real quick too on that too. About being free, right? In the news lately, you heard about Migos, and you heard about Takeoff being murdered.
Murdered,
murdered in Houston, and just playing a dice game or whatever. When I say this, I'm not condemning or anything like that. But what I'm saying to you is that when you get to something where you've been, that's freed you from what you've been used to, sometimes you can't go back in those same environments because those same environments can be detrimental to your health.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I got cousins, that's in the game, and they be like, when I get, if I visit them or I hang out, it's like, oh, cuz we got to get together. I'm like, we can talk right here. Well, I can't do the other stuff. I can't do that because I never know, what I'm saying? I can't get it caught up in that type of environment.
Right.
So my thing is like, I'm not trying to match your lifestyle. I got my own lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm saying, that's almost like to something we said before, like when, like when everybody say that Jesus hung out with all the, with the sinners and this and the other. No, he didn't hang out with them. Let me make sure you understand that. He didn't hang out with them. They came to him. Just saying.
It was changed after being in his presence.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just, that's a whole nother conversation with that. Jesus hung out with the sinners and all that stuff. That's a whole nother conversation. That's just somebody that's just, just trying to stay somewhere.
But I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I'm saying you can't go back. You can't, like when you become saved, you can't go back to doing what you used to do.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, you can't get it twisted either. Like, even though, like, I know a lot of times, like, we're here, we talk, like, you may hear us talk about Bible, you may hear us talk about scriptures, but don't get it confused. The Bible is principles for everyday living. You can debate about this and you can debate about that, but when you ask yourself what's the principle behind this story, and you learn the principle behind that story, and you tell me your life not going to be better when you following that principle, I doubt it. 100%.
That's right.
100%. I doubt it. And you can't tell me nothing different.
That's a whole nother thing. But I'll just say, like, to your point, Trey, like he said earlier, Fruit Bearing Studios is about bearing fruit, and we're just looking to help sow a seed and help, be a light in a dark place.
That's right, guys. And so with that being said, it is 8:58 and only 2 minutes left in this show. And so honestly, remember we said earlier, this will be now forward, steering you guys over to YouTube. And again, if you were not with us in the beginning, make sure you subscribe to our email database to be the first to know when things are shared, when we're releasing things, all of that. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check out the latest video release that we just did. Remember, our 3 films are still streaming on Amazon and Tubi TV. That's The Wake Up Call, A New Husband for Christmas, and The Gift of Grace. Right now, it's a great time to go back and start looking at A New Husband for Christmas. It's getting ready to be the Christmas holiday. So make sure that you join us and do that. Subscribe over to YouTube. That's where we'll be next week and every other Thursday after that.
Well, that was good, Kyria. Just a nice little ending. You all right.
We're going to pray out.
We're going to pray out. That's what we do. Heavenly Father, we thank you in Jesus' name for this Thursday Eat Behind the Scene. God, we pray for each and every person that was on this live, and we pray for even those, Father, who will look at this later. God, let our words not be taken for naught, Father, and not be taken in the wrong way, Father, but let us always do things, Father, to glorify you. Yes. Even in those times, Father, where we may fail, Father, let us ask for forgiveness and get back up, Father, to move toward what you have us to do, Father God. Father, we are free in your Son, Jesus' name, Father, and we are free to do what you have called us to do. Let us live, let us walk, and let us be upright before you, Father, all the days of our lives. Father, we thank you for this live. We thank you for each and every family that is represented tonight, Father God. Be with them, Father. Provide protection and safety over their homes, over their households. As we go forth throughout the rest of this week, we give you all praise, glory, and honor. In Jesus' name,
amen.
Amen.
Peace.
Peace. See y'all next week, next Thursday, same time. Get over on YouTube.
And we out.
Love you.